Are you often left feeling confused and undermined? Do you question your self-worth because of someone else's actions or words? These are not just random questions, but markers of a hidden problem many of us tend to overlook. Manipulation. Manipulation, a form of emotional abuse, can be subtle and insidious, leaving you feeling trapped and unsure. It's not always easy to spot, especially when it's woven into the fabric of your everyday life. This video aims to shine a light on this covert form of control, to help you recognize and understand if you're being manipulated. We'll delve into the 10 clear signs that indicate you're being controlled. From constant self-doubt, feeling pressure to comply, to experiencing guilt when setting boundaries, these signs can creep in, silently eroding your sense of self. So let's embark on this journey of unmasking manipulation. In this video, we will discuss 10 clear signs that you're being controlled. The first sign that you're being controlled is a constant self-doubt. This is a feeling that can be subtly ingrained in you over time. You find yourself second-guessing your decisions, questioning your judgment, and always feeling unsure. It's a gnawing feeling that your thoughts, actions, and even your perceptions might be wrong. This isn't the occasional insecurity we all experience. It becomes a constant companion, a nagging voice in the back of your mind that keeps you on edge, always doubting, always questioning. This self-doubt is not inherent. It's carefully cultivated by someone who wants to control you, to keep you in a state of uncertainty. They use tactics like gaslighting, where they manipulate you into doubting your own memory, perception, or sanity. They might deny things that happened or distort facts to fit their narrative. The goal is to make you doubt your reality and in turn rely on them to define what's real and what's not. Moving on to the second sign, the dismissal or belittling of your opinions and ideas. This could be outright, with your ideas being called silly, irrational, or worthless. Or it could be more subtle, with a dismissive attitude, a roll of the eyes, or a sarcastic comment. You might be laughed at when you express your thoughts or told that you're making a big deal out of nothing. This is done to make you feel insignificant, to make your thoughts seem unimportant or even absurd. It's a way to condition you into silence, to stop you from expressing your opinions or ideas. The person controlling you wants your voice to be drowned out, your thoughts to be overshadowed by theirs. They want to be the one who defines what's right and wrong, what's important and what's not. If these signs resonate with you, it's time to take a closer look at your relationships. It's important to identify these patterns of control and manipulation. Remember, acknowledging the problem is the first step towards change. The third sign of being controlled is the use of your emotions against you. This is an insidious tactic, often hard to spot, but it's one of the most common ways manipulators exert control. They might push your buttons to provoke a reaction. This reaction then becomes a weapon they use to justify their actions or to make you feel guilty. It's like a puppeteer pulling strings, making you dance to their tune. Consider this scenario. You've had a rough day at work and you're feeling a bit down. Instead of offering comfort or understanding, the manipulator might say something like, "Oh, so you're upset with me now?" They've twisted your emotions to make it about them, to make you feel guilty for feeling the way you do. Another way they might use your emotions against you is by trivializing your feelings. They make you feel like your reactions are overblown or irrational. This is a way of dismissing your emotions, of making you feel like you're the problem. It undermines your confidence in your own emotional responses. Now, let's move on to the fourth sign, the consistent violation of your boundaries. When someone persistently ignores or dismisses your boundaries, it's a clear sign you're being manipulated. A manipulator has a knack for pushing limits, for crossing lines you've drawn in the sand. They might do it subtly, inch by inch, eroding your boundaries over time, or they might bulldoze right through them. Dismiss them as unimportant or unreasonable. Either way, the message is clear. Your needs, your comfort, your personal space, they don't matter. It's like being trapped in a house where the walls keep closing in. The space you once had, the breathing room, keeps shrinking. It's suffocating, disorienting, and it's meant to be, because when you're off balance, when you're constantly on the defensive, it's easier to control you. Recognizing these signs is the first step towards regaining control. It's not easy, it's not immediate, but it's worth it. Because you deserve respect, you deserve to be heard. You deserve to feel safe in your own space, and you deserve to be in control of your own emotions. So let's take that first step together. Another clear sign of being controlled is feeling pressured to comply with their demands. This is a subtle form of manipulation that can be incredibly debilitating. When you're constantly under pressure to meet someone else's demands, it can feel like you're walking on eggshells. You may find that your own needs and wants are always overshadowed by theirs, and you're always bending over backwards to keep them happy. This isn't healthy or fair. You see, in a balanced relationship, both partners' needs are considered and respected. But in a controlling relationship, the balance of power is skewed. The manipulator uses pressure as a tool to get what they want, often disregarding the feelings and needs of the other person. Next, let's talk about the sixth sign, experiencing guilt or fear when setting boundaries. Boundaries are essential in any relationship. They help define what is acceptable and what isn't. They protect us and provide a sense of security. But if you're in a controlling relationship, setting boundaries can be a daunting task. You may feel a sense of guilt or fear when you try to establish these boundaries. You might worry about how your partner will react or fear the consequences of standing up for yourself. This fear and guilt are tools used by the manipulator to maintain control. They make you second-guess yourself and undermine your confidence, making it harder for you to assert your boundaries. Remember, it's not just okay to set boundaries, it's essential, and feeling guilty or fearful for doing so isn't normal. It's a clear sign that you're being manipulated and controlled. So, if you're often feeling pressured to comply with someone else's demands, or if you're experiencing guilt or fear when setting boundaries, take a moment to reflect. Are these feelings occasional, or are they a constant part of your relationship? These signs are red flags that you're in a controlling relationship. It's crucial to recognize them and take steps to protect yourself. The seventh sign that you're being controlled is being isolated from friends and family. It's a sinister tactic, and yet it's one of the most common strategies used by manipulators. They create a world where they are the center, the sun around which you orbit. They subtly start to cut you off from your support system, making it difficult for you to reach out for help or even to realize that help might be needed. Imagine being on an island, cut off from the mainland. That's what manipulators do. They make you believe that you're alone, that they are your only lifeline. They want you to rely solely on them for emotional support, advice, and companionship. This isolation can be physical, such as moving you away from your family and friends, or it can be psychological, where they convince you that your loved ones don't truly care for you or understand you. Now let's move on to the eighth sign. This one is a bit more subtle, but equally damaging. It's the feeling of being obligated to always please them. You find yourself constantly walking on eggshells, trying to avoid any conflict or disagreement. You start to lose sight of your own needs and wants, focusing solely on their happiness. This obligation isn't just about making them happy, it's about keeping the peace, avoiding their anger or disappointment. It's about sacrificing your own well-being for theirs. You might find yourself saying yes when you want to say no, simply to avoid their displeasure. And when you do muster the courage to assert yourself, you're met with guilt trips, silent treatments, or outright hostility. These signs, being isolated from friends and family and feeling obligated to always please them, are not signs of a healthy relationship. They are not signs of love or care. They are signs of control, signs of manipulation. They are tactics used by those who want to dominate, who seek power over others. These signs point towards manipulation and control, and recognizing them is the first step towards breaking free from their grip. Another clear sign of being controlled is finding it hard to make decisions without their approval. This is when you feel paralyzed, unable to trust your own judgment, always second-guessing yourself. It's like you've lost your compass, your ability to navigate your own life. Then we come to the 10th sign. Your self-worth is constantly undermined. This is perhaps the most damaging of all, as it strikes at the very core of who you are. It's when you're made to feel less than, unworthy, and it's designed to keep you in a state of self-doubt, always questioning your worth. Recognizing these signs is the first step towards breaking free from manipulation. Trust your instincts and surround yourself with supportive people who value you. Remember, you are worthy of respect and kindness.